Él es Brandon, ¿cómo estás, Brandon?
Sorry.
No,
How are you,
sorry.
Brandon? Sorry.
Bien. Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidas, bienvenidos y bienvenides a mi canal de YouTube. Estoy muy feliz porque tengo una entrevista más. En esta ocasión a Brandon Lista, un chico súper joven con una corta trayectoria en el mundo de los cuentacuentos, pero ya destacada allá en Toronto. Y él me platicaba que inició en el mundo de los cuentacuentos en Danu, aquel lugar, bar del cual ya les hablé. ¿Se acuerdan? Miren, en este link, ahí con Dan Jachinsky, podrán enterarse un poquito de este lugar donde ya les platiqué, donde él inició como público y después se convirtió en un narrador de historias. Vamos a conocer su historia.
I actually got started in the storytelling work because of the Danu Social House, where we have been performing together. I was there for another event, and I met the owner of the bar, Josh, and he said, "Hey, there's going to be a storytelling night." And I decided, "Oh, this would be lovely. I'll go." So I went, and it was amazing.
But did you meet Dan there or
Yes.
before?
No, I met Dan there at the event. It was, and it just showed up. The first time he does what he does, the crowd work. He asked a question.
But the first time you were telling stories or just like an audience?
Just as an audience member. He asked a question about family quotes or things like that. I raised my hand, and then the next time he asked, "Oh, would you ever be interested in storytelling or something like that?" And I said yes. And then by the third time I went, because I went March, April, May,
every month,
he's like, "All right, if you're serious, you can tell next month, but you gotta pick a story."
Wow.
And I'd already started reading a little bit. I'd gone to, in May there was the storytelling festival, and I saw you perform the Friday night storytelling, and
wow. Después le pregunté si había tenido previamente algún acercamiento a las artes escénicas, algún curso de narración oral, o si fue de a tiro como audiencia que de repente se enamoró y después subió al escenario.
You know what? No. The most I'd done in terms of performing arts was I built sets for like a school show. So I'd be the carpenter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What did I do? But I would occasionally teach public speaking or presentation skills.
Wow.
But not performing. Not me. No. I was in behind. I wasn't in the front and center.
Brandon tiene una vida profesional como ingeniero, sin embargo le pregunté si le gustaría, si tiene como esa inquietud de llegar a ser un narrador oral profesional.
That would be a dream. And, right now I'm trying to change what I'm doing, so to make it more in line with that, so I can be a teacher and an educator and also tell stories. And I would love to, if I can make, I love storytelling. Yeah. If I can make money doing it and make it and live off of it, that would be a very happy life.
And also I think it's not really necessary to, to be a professional storyteller just to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be an engineer, you can be a teacher, you can be other thing, and also be a professional storyteller.
Yeah.
So nothing needs fighting,
Yeah. They can be both together.
Exactly.
But there's so many interesting things in the world, and I think story and storytelling is genuinely a part of them all. So I think no matter where I end up, even my professional life, there's going to be storytelling in it, one way or another.
Una de mis peores presentaciones que tuve en Toronto en inglés fue como la tercera, cuarta, no recuerdo muy bien, e hice lo que yo le digo a mis alumnas, a mis alumnos y alumnes que no hagan. Nunca memoricen el texto. Hay otros procesos para adquirir la historia. Sin embargo, al principio yo memorizaba los cuentos en inglés para no equivocarme, ¿no? Para practicar la pronunciación de ciertas palabras o de ciertas frases. Sin embargo, en una ocasión, ¡pum!, se me olvidó la historia, me quedé en blanco y le tuve que decir al público, denme unos segundos, por favor. Y me quedé así como 30 segundos nomás pensando hasta que vino a mí la historia. Y le pregunté a Brandon si él ha tenido, pues, en este inicio de su carrera como cuentacuentos, alguna experiencia difícil, extraña, inusual al contar un cuento.
Yeah, I've had a couple now just telling stories. One at Danu, where I was a little too confident. I went in, I'm like, I know my story, I'm gonna do an okay job, it's fine. And I lost myself. I could not, for the life of me, remember where I was in the story at all.
And what did you do?
Fortunately, if it was 4 years ago, I would have collapsed. This is where I think that all my public speaking background and my presentation background helped me, and just being a teacher for years. It let me take a pause and just wait, and then continue. Just gather myself a little bit. I didn't panic. I just waited, took a breath. I remembered, and it came back to me. And when I asked people after, they said, for a second I thought maybe you forgot the story, but it just sounded like a dramatic pause. I'm like, oh, brilliant! I did forget the story. Yeah, it was all intended, but inside it was a clean slate. But I also have ADHD, so sometimes when I'm speaking with people, it happens anyways. So I've gotten kinder on myself when that happens. I know to just be like, all right, you've forgotten. Let's just take a minute and continue. That's what I like to think. In the moment, I'm like,
inside of you is like, oh my god. Yeah, okay. Como persona joven, le pregunté qué opinaba acerca de que el 99% de los colegas pues eran personas de mucha edad, ¿verdad? Ya personas incluso jubiladas. Y cómo veía pues este panorama de que casi no hay gente joven en el mundo de los cuentos allá.
I haven't been in the community long enough to really know. I think that it's fallen to the wayside. I don't know what it is about our culture here that it's not as prominent as it could be or should be. Like, I had no idea it existed as an art form until I stumbled upon it at the Danu. I had no idea that was still a thing. Storytelling, that's other cultures. That used to happen. I mean, I didn't even know, like, I'm half Italian, half Scottish, and I had no idea how rich some of my own culture's storytelling roots were until I started to dive into this and people started saying, oh, hey, look at this, look at this.
Actualmente Brandon forma parte de la mesa directiva de Storytelling Toronto, que es una organización estatal o provincial, como dicen por allá, que pues organiza las actividades, los más o menos congrega en una especie de sindicato o algo así por el estilo. Y él es ahora parte de la mesa directiva y le dije, pues bueno, ¿qué quería hacer? ¿Cómo asumía esa responsabilidad durante su participación en esta organización? Y él nos cuenta.
I think right now, one of my big objectives is just getting the word out and making people aware. Because I think that if people don't know about it, then people can't get involved. And it's funny, storytelling, and yet we need more word of mouth spread. And there are a lot of I've seen small pockets of storytelling communities, but nothing really pulling together saying, oh, hey, if you like stories, you can go here or here or here. And the more awareness about the community that happens, then we can start seeing, there's a group called Mother Tongues. They only tell stories when you get up in your mother tongue. I had no idea this group existed.
Ya después le pregunté cuál era su proceso para montar un cuento y esto nos contó.
Yeah, so the first time I've read it, I love it. I read it again, and then I wait. And then when I start to read it that third or the fourth time, I try and I make a movie. I try and make a movie in my head. And then I just live with that movie for a little bit. And then I'll play the movie in my mind, start to finish. I'll play the movie again. And then I'll read the book, the story again, play the movie. And it's just about playing the movie in my mind and just finishing the details and just kind of building the world in my mind. And sometimes things stick out. I mean, the last story I told had some singing. And that every single time, all day, that song was just playing in my head over and over and over again until I didn't feel separate from the story anymore. The song took on new layers. And this is not something I'm used to. I'm an engineer. I do math. I'm not used to this. And I felt a part of it. So that's kind of, I felt with every story that I've done. It's, I read it, and then I just try to make it a part of me. Like almost make it a memory. Make it something that I've lived. And that's my process. So now when I think of stories, I see the story.
Wow.
And that way when I'm telling, I'm not remembering, I'm watching the movie in my head, and I'm just telling people what's happening. So that's kind of, that takes the pressure off. And also me, who generally, although I put on a good show, I'm still very introverted. I was the shyest kid in class, or one of.
Really?
And it just took a lot. So even when I get up on stage now, I'm more nervous giving a presentation than I am telling a story. Because the story, at least, I don't feel like I'm the center of attention.
De repente Brandon se volvió el entrevistador y me preguntó que cuál era mi proceso para montar una historia y bueno, pues le respondí.
Well, it's a bit different. I have to read at the beginning 2-3 times the story. You know, sometimes it's like I leave the story for some days and then again to read. But my process is with the body. I need to do something with my body. So I'm thinking about my performing on the stage, not just my words. So, and I'm doing something similar about some scenes or images in my mind, and I'm thinking the whole day sometimes in my story on a song or something like that. But I need to practice the story, telling the story to myself. Maybe in the mirror, maybe to the wall, you know, something like that. But I need to practice literally saying the story, you know, with my voice, with my body. And I'm so corporal. You know, I use a lot of my body. And sometimes it's like if I do that movement, could be great or could be no. It's like no. That face. Could be I can do that in that moment, you know, something like that. And
it's truly one of your strengths. So like your faces are
exactly
unbelievable.
I
see that.
Well, but in the end, when I'm telling the story, sometimes everything is different. You know, I was practicing something, but in the end, oh my God.
Bueno, hasta ahí. Me detuve porque ya estaba yo hablo como siempre, soy súper parlanchine. Y bueno, le compartí algo por lo menos de mi proceso de cómo montar historias. Sin embargo, él nos da una conclusión.
And I definitely, they're well different. The core feels the same. That we're growing with the stories as we learn them. We're internalizing them, and they're alive. They're not. It's not dead. They're for us. They're living, and that's why they're changing with the audience and whoever we're telling it to, because they're bringing something as well.
Totally agree.
Y ya para despedirnos, Brandon me ofreció un shotcito de una bebida un licor especial que él mismo hizo allá en Canadá, de orígenes italianos, porque él tiene orígenes de Italia.
And you have a special drink.
I do. I have a special drink. So this lovely little liqueur is called Alloro, and it's made from bay leaves or bay laurel.
Hojas de laurel. O sea, él fabrica esta bebida con hojas de laurel que trajo desde Italia.
Yeah, see. So sorry. Yes is the same in Italian.
Similar.
But similar, more or less. But so it's the leaves are soaked in the alcohol and then you sweeten it. And it takes time, but it's a liqueur. Even in Italy, you can't buy it.
You can't.
No, you can only make it.
Oh.
So a lot of people still don't know a ton about it because you can only get it if someone's made it in their home.
Wow, it's so traditional.
Yeah.
Wow. So
All right,
cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
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 Sweet, a little herbal.
I can feel the herbs.
Yeah, the herbs.
Good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Amazing.
Delicious. Thanks so much, Brandon.
Oh, you're so welcome. This was so much fun.
Okay, see you in Mexico.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Okay. Yeah.
Muchísimas gracias por acompañarme en esta entrevista y por seguirme, por verla, por compartirla. Espero que las estén disfrutando. Y bueno, pues nos vemos el siguiente lunes con una entrevista más. Adiós.